Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the AJW part number UG1X-A. And this is a grab bar. This is an 18-inch grab bar. This will be a sample just used for references in this video. And we're going to go over all of the different sizes that it is available in. And this is, right off the bat, this is a 1-inch diameter bar. This would be a relatively uncommon size bar, only because the common size is 1.5 inch diameter, although 1.5 inch, 1.25 inches, 1 inch are all made. This happens to be a Peened style of this. This has a textured grip. You can see the difference where the textured grip starts. This is to afford a better non-slip surface, even though the brushed finish is somewhat non-slip. It's nearly not as non-slip as what they would call the Peened grip. Okay, so the way to really properly understand grab bars is to, frankly, dissect the part number. And this model is its part number, UG1X-A. First of all, the A in the part number means it's a straight grab bar. A straight grab bar, I should say, with 2 mounting flanges. You get into a B model, it's still straight, but it has 3 mounting flanges. That would be for your longer units. So this is a UG1X. That means it is a concealed snap flange model. It's 1 inch diameter. It's a straight bar with a Peened grip. So let's go over and dissect that part number. And the best way to do that is to look at the catalog information that's linked to down below, along with the tech sheet and the other links that are here that will allow us to not only understand what we have, but to understand how all of the grab bars from AJW work. So let's take a look at those links down below. Okay, now here's the page that we're looking at, and in the extended description it will have the length, the 1 inch bar diameter, okay, concealed snap flange, it's Peened, and all that is really coming out of this part of the part number, okay. So let's take a look at, first of all, let's look at the bar configurations, and that's going to show you that we do indeed have the A style bar, okay. We have an A in our part number, that's right here, A, and then the length is that part of the part number altogether. These are the different bar designs available from AJW, and as I had said earlier, the C is still a straight grab, the B is still a straight grab bar, but if you had like a 72-inch bar, it'll be a B. It's still straight, but it'll be a B72 rather than an A72. So this will show you the different designs and show you what letter would be associated. You know, wall to floor with a grab bar, straddle style, the inside corner, etc. Fold down next to the commode. So that shows us those configurations. The measurement guide we'll take a look at only briefly, but when we hop out of this view, we'll go over with a tape measure the bar itself. You can see that they measure center to center, okay? So 18 inch is the center of the mounting point to the center of the mounting point. We'll save a review for that for last. The tech sheet on this bar is like a tier sheet out of the catalog. Well, actually, it's not. It's a technical drawing that you'll be able to look at the specifications. And let's go over that now. Fabricated of 18 gauge type 304 stainless with a number 4 satin finish, 1 inch diameter. All bars maintain a constant 1.5 inch offset. And what that means is, back to the measurement guide, all of the bars will always be 1.5 inch diameter clearance. Okay, they will all be that. Then what's going to change, of course, is the bar diameter. Okay, so what will absolutely change would be, of course, the projection. Always 1.5 inch plus your bar outside diameter. Number 4 satin finish is the standard finish. If you want a non-slip finish, you'll add the Peened, which is the X in the part number. And that's where the X comes in here. Now, snap flanges. This is indeed a snap flange style. There are 3 types of grab bars in terms of the flanges, and we're going to go over those in a moment. 3-inch diameter, 3/8 deep drawn, 304 stainless 22 gauge is the snap cover itself with a number 4 finish. This is a very common question. How strong are they? Bars with a projection of no more than 5" off the finished wall will sustain loads in excess of 900 pounds when properly mounted. Bars with more than a 5" projection, so that's going to be bars with more than a 5" projection. Obviously, you know, wall to floor, things of that nature. Okay, items that are literally, you know, well off the wall. Now it goes on to say installation, verify what your state and local code requirements are on bar diameter and type of finish. Recommended mounting heights are 33 to 36 inch center line above the finished floor. All mounting of grab bars, when possible, should have an in-wall mounting backplate. So the wall needs to be properly reinforced. On the manufacturer's page, you can get to the ADA standards for accessible design, okay? And in that document, there will be an absolute, the governing document. And what is indeed the handy part of the ADA design is the fact that it will give you all of the dimensions for everything. Okay, and as you were to study this document, you'll certainly get a lot more than just the 33 to 36 inch, you know, reference height mounting that they're giving here. You'll get a total overview of the federal law that is handicap compliance, and it is all to be found in that document. Okay, now let's dissect the part number, because that will really allow us to, you know, get a better feel of what it is exactly that is available. That's under the product brochure. And right immediately is where we're going to get into it. So there are 3 diameters, as you can see. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in this series I only have 2 sizes. There is the concealed snap flange, the concealed set screw, and then the exposed. Okay, so you can immediately start to pick your part number. We have a UG1. Client wanted a UG1. It's going to be a 1-inch diameter concealed snap flange. They also then added the X for the safety grip Peened. You can see the other options that are here as well. Okay. This and this is where you build this first part of the part number. This letter is the configuration, and that is back to grab bar configurations. A is what we're doing here. Okay. Then you have your size. So it would be, in our case, just dimension 1. There is only one dimension here. It's 18-inch. The dimension 1 and 2 and 3 would come into play when you would have, you know, a grab bar where you literally are going to have multiple dimensions, such as a straddle style bar, where you're going to have the projection off the wall, you're going to have the center to center, and then you're going to have the height. And that's where the dimensions will come in. You only have 2 dimensions with a wall to floor like this. You only have 2 like this with the outrigger style. They don't measure that outrigger. But 3 dimensions will come in on these more complicated bars. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty easy to put together. In that product catalog is where you're going to see all of the consolidated information available regarding these bars. So the product guide will absolutely serve as everything that you would possibly need to really digest the entire line of bars. The configurations are all listed. The definition of the different flanges now is the next thing that we get into here, and that is where you have your flange type. And again, your flange type is defined in your series part number. Okay, your diameter and your flange type will give you a part number. Now, to get into the flanges, there are three types. There is the exposed flange, which is just a base plate that's been welded to the tubing that will give you holes to mount. Then there is the concealed snap flange, which is what our model is. This has a plate that you will mount to the wall, and then this flange literally comes over and snaps to this. That's probably the most common one. The second most common would be the concealed set screw flange, where this plate gets mounted to the wall, and then in the base of the bar, which is this flange, which is welded to the bar, has set screws. They say that there are 4. I really believe there are only 3. Well, there are 3 or 4. And the set screws get attached through the base, and they will tighten against the underside of the wall plate, is what it is. So the wall plates get mounted to the wall, then the bars go over that. And they're all described here. Last but not least is the exposed flange in terms of how common they are, being the least common. However, they would also be considered the least expensive as well. So if you're really looking for economy, you are certainly going to be looking for a 1-inch diameter bar that is going to be an exposed flange. That would all conspire to give you the least expensive bar. Okay. And that's it. Those are all the only 2 pages. Now they do show you some other options that they have, such as this security bar that is available. And that basically closes the bar off so that you can't loop something through here. That would make it ligature resistant in that regard. Okay. Now, let's finish up this video with a little dimensional review of our bar back at the item profile. Okay, now we're going to talk about the size of this unit as well. And let's show you what that flange looks like. That flange literally just snaps on and off. And those are your 3 holes for mounting. As I mentioned earlier, that's welded to the bar. And once you have that attached, you'll just bring that down, and you'll just literally push and snap it down over this. Is how that is going to work. Okay. We had said earlier that the projection, or I should say the clearance, is 1.5 inches always. And that is indeed the case. Just trying to hold this as straight as I can. It's always going to be 1.5 inches. So this will have a 2.5 inch projection. And then it is, of course, the center to center at 18 inch. Because this is indeed an 18-inch bar. Fingers out of the way there. 18-inch. Okay. I believe they said that the flange was 3-inch. A little heavy on that, but basically 3-inch. And again, the peened surface. Peened surface is always a good idea. Especially, I have people install these in shower enclosures. Very often, homeowners will have a family member that needs assistance in the shower, so they will purchase a grab bar, a couple of grab bars, and I would always recommend a peened surface in that application, especially when your hands are wet. Also, I have heard it reported that seniors do not like smaller bars because of the additional pain they report feeling when they push off. That would certainly be because of the smaller amount of surface area. So a larger diameter, I understand, helps mitigate that. Is what I've heard. I could also understand it being more difficult to get your entire hand around a larger bar as well. So be mindful. 1 inch is I would say that 1 inch is somewhat uncommon in that regard. However, it is also nice, petite. It doesn't look so overwhelming. It is also 1 inch in diameter. Is also a size that you could get, frankly, in a heavy-duty towel bar. So you get down into the size where it's small enough, where it's less oppressive in terms of looking at this metal contraption that might be in your shower enclosure. Okay, the specs and installation down below, we've already covered all of that material. Now finally, there's a link below this video back to the manufacturer's page where we found that ADA design guide. ADA was passed in 1991, I believe, and overnight it became federal law that public spaces be accessible and usable for those that are handicapped. And that document is, you know, like I had said earlier, the governing document when it comes to not only grab bars and the positioning of soap dispensers and things of that nature. We'll go into absolutely great detail, but it is the governing document in all things accessible guideline. In our industry, of course, thresholds are very common, so it gives definitions in terms of how thresholds will operate, what they're permitted to be in terms of size. But we'll also get into parking spaces and, you know, for the handicapped in parking lots. That link below this video to the manufacturer's page will allow you to pull up that full line catalog as well, in addition to a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to all of the AJW products we sell. Any questions on the AJW UG1X and an A configuration or any other AJW product? By the way, this is going to be available up to 48 inch in an A finish, in an A configuration. If you wanted to do this in a 60 inch or a 72 inch, you can. Just change it to a B60, B72. And I think at about 72 inch, that might cap out. We may have done bars that are 84 inch in length before, but at that point, there's no space that you're going to use a grab bar that will be that. So it'll be a handrail at that point. Any questions on this or any other AJW product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.